Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melvin Williams. I am the Director of Business Development here at MNN Communications. I am excited to talk to you this morning about what you need to know about backup and continuity. What do you need to know about backup and continuity within your business, within your organization? How are you going to be able to use this technology to leverage and grow? So today's presenter is going to be myself. Once again, it's Melvin Williams, the Director of Business Development here at M&N Communications. So one of the things that I think the first thing we need to understand is we need to understand the risks that are associated with running a small business or understanding the risks of not having backup. So 25% of production machines will have a failure this year. That's 25% of all of your computers, they will fail. 24% of companies say that they have experienced a full data disaster. That's 24% of all the companies out there that says that they either have lost their data, it has been stolen, they can't gain access to it. 70% of small businesses that experience a major data loss go out of business within a year. 2019, 70% of those businesses that experience a data loss go out of business. Can you afford that? Is your business within that 70%? The older equipment is higher to risk. Losing data on older equipment, not having newer equipment is a problem. So we're going to dive right down into it because data protection is a legal responsibility. Compliance regulations like HIPAA require backup, recovery, and continuity plans to be in place. PCI compliance and financial data responsibilities are becoming stricter. Data loss will not be tolerated in future years. So ask yourself the question, is your organization compliant with HIPAA? Are you following PCI guidelines? Can you afford for your data to be stolen? So let's really unpack this. Let's dig really deep into this and understand, knowing our infrastructure, understanding the risks, the options, purchasing approaches, and verifying testing. What can we do? So let's get really deep into it. And I want you to visualize it's 10 a.m. or it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your data is? Life used to be so simple. You had your desktops or you had your physical servers. But then things got really complicated. You have your desktops, you have your physical servers, you have your virtual servers, you have your SaaS, your software applications, you have your cloud servers. So in 2019, business data is absolutely everywhere. It's on those workstations. It's on those local servers. It's on your mobile devices. It's on those removable drives. It's in your Office 365, those SaaS applications. It's within the public cloud. Most small business owners that I talk to, they say that they don't need to back up these files. They don't need to back up these files is what they're telling me. But they don't understand that business data needs to be protected. Files on work endpoints are more critical than you think. Think about e-discovery. Introducing human error. It's cheaper to have a system protected than building policies to split data. So we're digging really deep into this. You have to understand your infrastructure, understanding where the data lies, how the data can be captured, and who has access to the data. We really want to understand the risks. So let's look at this perfect storm. Every employee creates data. It's values and it's reliant. That data is valuable and employees are relying on it to increase business, to make business decisions. Business data is traveling everywhere. So my question to you small business owners, to you IT leaders in the Bluebell, Ambler, Fort Washington, Conshohocken, and Skip Peck area, how are you protecting your data? Are you working with a partner right now that can help you with that? Because data loss protection is always going to happen. And the question is, how much downtime can you experience? So businesses, those applications, businesses done in those applications, your files are recovered. Those components, they have to be restored in those applications. Think about the uptime and the failover if you don't have access to your data. What happens? So what are you doing right now to protect your data? When it comes to protection, file formats, all of that stuff matters. So either you're going to be imaging or you're going to be file-based backing up your data. And that's what we want to talk about right now. Images versus file snap data. You can either snapshot all your data, you can have a full system recovery, you can have a failover, or you can have this thing done automatically. Or you can be using something that takes and replicates the files, and it picks and chooses what to protect. It has a manual process. It's no failover. You might get better. You might get your music. Your data may be accessed. It may be there, but you just don't know. So backup is not business continuity. So most people do back up their stuff. You have local protection. Sometimes you have cloud protection. You have some restore points, but business continuity makes sure that all of those services remain working within seconds and not hours. Ask yourself, how long does it take to you to restore your data? If you experience a ransomware outbreak, how long is it going to take you? What is the return on that investment? Can you answer that? CryptoLocker. Symantec says that CryptoLocker families accounts for 55% of all attacks. $400 to $5,000 to unlock your files. As a small business owner, can you afford this? You're given 24 hours to 72 hours to pay. And if you don't make these payments, your files will remain encrypted. And my question is, do you have time to lose this? Do you have time to lose those pertinent files? Do you have time to have your personal PII information out on the dark web? So let's dig right down to the costs of a disaster. When your operations stop, when you lose sales, or you have a compliance penalty, you have missed deadlines, data loss, potential litigation, permanent damage to your reputation. These are all the causes of data loss. Your operation stops working, so we stop making money. We can't make sales because our operation stops working. We get a $750,000 fine because we weren't compliant, because we didn't have the proper procedures in place. We missed those pertinent deadlines. We lost our intellectual property. We don't have information or data for a potential litigation issue. Our reputation is damaged. So realistically speaking, who can afford this? Do you have a budget for this? And if you don't, you want to start with a downtime calculator. You have to be aware, be aware of the fine print, understanding how long it takes to restore your data from a disaster. Does it take minutes? Is it going to take seconds, hours, or even days? How much is this going to cost you? These are the things that we want to talk to you about at M&N Communication. These are the things that we understand. We understand how to verify. We understand how to test this stuff, because garbage in and garbage out. We automate all of this testing so you don't have to be afraid to ask any questions. When we really think about this, your first DR, your first disaster recovery test, it's usually ranking 1 out of 10 because you don't understand what needs to be done. And after you work with a partner like us, usually that second test, it's much better because you understand the risks. So after we unplugged all of this, what did we learn? What takeaways can we come from this? So we need to understand that we need to make sure what's installed, and what we have capable. What capabilities do we have to back up our data? How fast can we get it installed, get it restored? What are our local backups? How can we restore it? What are our cloud backup options? Do we work with a trusted service provider? How do we find the right fit? How often is our system tested? Can we ensure that we don't experience a disaster if something goes wrong? Business continuity is like a seatbelt. It's there. But if you don't buckle up, you won't be able to save yourself. So start protecting your business today with a business continuity plan that ensures that your data, ensures that your operations will keep running if you experience a data loss, if you experience a ransomware outbreak, if you experience not having access to your data, if your employees don't have access to their phones, if you don't have a data connectivity, if you don't have an internet connectivity. Understand what needs to be put in place to make sure that you're buckled up and you've protected your business. So once again, thank you for your time here. Dear Mr. IT Leader, here at M&N Communications, we're a consultant firm located here in Bluebell. We manage IT. We provide essential technology solutions for the small business owner. We understand your connectivity issues, your security issues, your productivity issues. M&N Communications solves common IT challenges. We understand that rising costs of IT, the security and compliance concerns that you have. We understand how to improve your infrastructure. We understand how to protect those data vulnerabilities, workplace communication, how to make it better. And most importantly, we understand how to leverage and partner with vendors who make sure that you have reliable network connectivity. So we're not going to take too much more of your time today. So once again, we're here and we're signing off at M&N Communications. So remember, business continuity is like a seatbelt. If you don't buckle up or if you don't have procedures in place, you can't protect yourself. Thank you for your time here at M&N Communications, and I hope that you have a great day. And thank you for your time once again.